Hi guys, and welcome back to the World of Tanks test server with Gamer. Today we are here looking at the new Tier 10 German Heavy, the PzKpfw VII, or 7, as you can see on the screen in front of you. This thing now sits, if we look at the tech tree, just after the VK4502 A and B at Tier 9, and slots in as the third German Heavy as it stands on the test server. So I'm going to take just a quick look at this tank in the garage, talk you through what my recommendations are for it and a few strengths and weaknesses I've picked up, and then we'll jump into a game and see how this thing plays. So this thing, it's a beast of a tank. It's not unmobile with a top speed of 33 kilometers an hour, but it isn't going to win any speed races. But the main thing that makes this tank a monster is this frontal armour profile. Now officially the frontal arm of this is 240mm thick. That is this upper plate here. This bottom plate is 230mm thick, but because of the angle on it, it's somewhere in the region of 340. Now the turret, frontally, officially is 200mm thick, but it does have this big old gun mantlet. Now this means in some places on the turret, the armour is, around about this point, 300mm thick. But there is also an armour hole behind this, across the middle here, which does give you only 200mm of frontal armour in places. I say only. Now, this top plate is angled back. As you can see, it's an angle of about 40 degrees. So head on, this thing is around about 350mm of effective armour thickness, and the lower plate is just about 300mm. So head on, this is a very tough nut to crack. And frontally, the only real weak spot is the commander's cupola up here, which, if I just check my figures, is 120mm thick. But as you can see, it's a long way back, and head on, it is quite a small target. And because it's not in the centre of the turret, you can wiggle the gun backwards and forwards, which will make that a lot harder to hit. Now the rest of the armour in this tank is a bit of a mixed bag. The side armour, flat side, is 160, as is the turret. The rear armour is interesting. This portion down here is only 120, but is sloped, giving it around about 160mm of thickness. The middle band here below the turret is 160, and this part of the turret is only 120. But this entrance hatch here is actually 140mm, so it's actually not a weak spot from the back. Sideways on, the turret is 160 degrees, I believe, at the side. I'll just double check that figure there. Yeah, 160 at the side. So the whole side of this thing is basically 160mm thick, apart from this point here where the gun comes in, which sideways on is 200mm, this section here. So not a weak spot. Now angling wise, I'll talk about that before I talk about my equipment fit. If you were to stick this tank at round about 15 degrees, this frontal plate, pretty much the top and bottom, becomes around about 400mm. This jumps up to about 330 in the middle here, so this whole front section becomes very, very difficult to penetrate. This section of the side armour is an auto bounce at that angle, but if one of these is angling at you, it does have a weak spot. If you notice back here, underneath the turret, the armour does bulge out, and at this angle that becomes pretty much flat. So the effective armour thickness of that section drops to about 200mm, and because of the reduced angle, if you can see here it's coming in there, that is the easiest place to penetrate this tank if it is side scraping. Now this thing comes with a 128mm gun. It's a pretty decent gun. It has 258 average penetration on its armour piercing rounds. If we have a look there, that's at 100 meters, and 560 alpha damage, which with this rate of fire gives this tank around about with my equipment fit, 2,500 damage per minute. And it does have a 0.35 accuracy and a respectable aiming time of 2.44 seconds, which isn't that bad for a big old heavy tank. Now with my equipment fit, I've gone for gun rammer, which is always a good one on tank, brings your reload time down a bit. Vents, again, just improves everything. And because this thing certainly frontally does have a lot of armour, and artillery, as they currently are in the game, do like taking pot shots at big fat heavy tanks. So I've gone for super heavy spar liner, which just increases your effective armour thickness by around 50% and prevents the crew from being injured as much. So that's my equipment fit. Ammo wise, this is the test server, so I expect to be being shot at by armour pierce, APCR and heat ammo, but for the purposes of testing, I've loaded up 36 armour-piercing rounds and 4 high-explosive rounds. They're not that great, only 65mm of penetration, but if you come across artillery, the extra damage is certainly worth considering, as it takes the potential damage up to nearly 900. APCR does have a relatively respective 315 for the penetration figure, but for the purposes of testing this tank, we are going to just stick with the standard armour-piercing rounds. Anyway, let's jump into a battle and see how well we do. This is my first match in the tank, so don't expect anything miracle-wise, but we'll just see and see what we can manage. Okay, so here we are on Lakeville. We've taken the northern spawn, and it's a very heavy tier 10 match. In fact, I feel sorry for the 2 IS-3s on the enemy team, but the enemy do have some rather nasty tank destroyers, which could potentially pose some rather nasty risks for the frontal armour of this, but we're going to see what we can do anyway. As you can see, this thing, it does take a little while to get up to its top speed, and I'm running on a slight downhill there, but it will outpace, as you can see, the tier 8 German tank there. Now we're going to see if we can, this is a bit of a risky shot at this range, but there you can see the gun is actually pretty accurate. I managed to smack a shot all the way over there into the side of the TVP 5051, so a useful start to the game. 559 damage, fractionally below the average damage for the tank. And thankfully, there goes their Object 140, and the enemy Panzer VII has taken a nasty hit there as well, shaving off about 700 hit. Oh no, there we go. Lost almost 1200 hit points now, so he's probably feeling a little bit less brave than he was. Now I'm going to come around here. I'm not going to stop in the cap circle. Instead, I'm going to push round and try and get into a position where I can take some shots. And oh, I see some tanks. And of course I can't get any side shots into them from here at all, can I? So I'm going to turn around slightly, and oh, that's not good. I was going to turn around to try and get some shots into those as they went that way, but instead I'm going to try and deal with this enemy Panzer VII as he sits here on this corner. See if I can get a shot through his side armour. Ugh, he pulled back just as I fired. Now, I do have an ally taking some shots at him, so I'm going to wait till he fires. There we go. Move in here. Ugh, no. As you can see, even for itself, this is a very tough tank. Oh, that was a bit silly of me. I'm not quite sure where that went in. Let's have a look. Yeah, he shot me in the side part there, where the weakness is when you're side scraping. So instead, I'm going to try and see if I can get a shot on that TVP there. There we go. I'm very wary of that guy coming around behind me, so Let's just repair my tracks. And that's him gone. But now I'm trying to get out of here because it's getting a little bit too hairy for me in there. So I'm going to try and angle up here to deal with these guys. I did manage to put a shot into the IS-7 there, so you can see it's not a horrible tank, but I'm in a bit of a bad position here. See if I can reload in time. There we go, managed to get a shot into him there. Just keep jiggling, and there we go, he failed to penetrate me, so I'm going to try and deal with the IS-7. I'm not too worried about that guy. Not when I can put 662 damage into the back of the IS-7. Oh, and he did manage to penetrate me there from the front, so I'll see what I can do here. There we go, and I've taken him out. So a very useful kill, taking out enemy tier 10 heavy. And now we've actually beaten back the push on the town. Oh, and that was a bit of a horrible shot on my part. Clutched that one quite badly and yeah, just smacked it into the building. Now I do want to chase that gorilla down, but I don't want to go sticking my nose around the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and come down here. I know there's a Conqueror gun carriage. Ugh, I missed him unfortunately. The gorilla's coming down. Ugh, he seems determined to get me, that guy. Well, the Conqueror's dead, so that's one less tank I need to worry about. Unfortunately, there's a few tanks here, and I'm a bit worried I'm going to get flanked. Oh dear, did not see that. And I clutched that shot, completely messed it up. And that hurt. And that went straight through my lower plate. Like I said, tank destroyers on the enemy team. Tier 10 tank destroyers can damage this thing from the front. It's entirely possible for them to damage it. Especially if you make the mistake and are pointing straight at them when they shoot you. So I'm trying not to get spotted here. I do have an FV215B coming around, which is always good. And I'm going to see if I can get around and put a shot in the back of that T110E4. I hope he's not looking at me. And he isn't, and he's dead. And now the gorilla comes round and unfortunately does take me out. Couldn't quite get back into a covering position in time there. But I did manage to block 3,500 points of damage there. The FV215B on my team has got plenty of health, so in theory can take the gorilla. But the gorilla appears to be running away. So I don't know whether this match is won or lost at this point, but the gorilla is certainly about to have a bad day. Just going to jump over into the valley, see how the rest of the team are doing fighting it out in the valley. Well, they've lost the gorilla. Our Tier 8 M4A1 is having a blinder of a game with 3 kills. And looks like we could well win this, as there's only 2 Tier 8 heavies and a Death Star holding the valley. And we do have 3 tanks coming around to ambush them from the rear. So we're going to leave the match here and jump into the results and look and see how well I did. Okay, so here we are with the results. Now that was good enough for a 2nd class mastery, which I don't think is too bad because I'm no professional player. Came out 2nd on the team for experience with 1,000 base experience. Unsurprisingly, our M4A1 Revelry came top with a really decent damage total for that tank. But as you can see, it's a tier 10 vehicle. I didn't do overly well. I didn't do badly, but I didn't do overly well. And the repair costs 29,000 nearly. And even though I fired 14 rounds, I came out with getting on for 18,000 credits for a ammo resupply build, so I did lose credits there. However, with a premium account, that would have made credits, and you can expect to lose credits in most tier 10 matches unless you do really well or run premium. So yeah, that's the first look at the PzKpfw VII, or VII. The only thing I haven't really discussed is the crew skills. So my suggestions are Sixth Sense for your commander as the first skill, Snapshot on the gunner, Smooth Ride on the driver, and then repairs. Once you finish your first skill, drop for either Brothers in Arms or repairs all round, and then change out for whatever you want at that point. Anyway, that's my ideas about the new German tier 10. I have a feeling when I eventually get to it, I am going to like this thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider dropping me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.